Okay, good morning, brothers and sisters in Christ. So I'm coming to you all with, I'm just going to freestyle it because I had been receiving, hopefully you can hear me. My daughter's watching TV very loud. There's her remote. I had a dream last night, which really didn't make much sense to me, but it did. And I'm going to need your help with maybe trying to possibly interpret this dream and taking it back to God and seeing what he's saying. And maybe you might have had the same dream, so maybe you're the other piece of my puzzle on this dream. It was very odd and very choppy, and I'm not quite sure what to make of it, so I'm just gonna say it. Okay, so I had a dream that my husband and I and my daughter, we were at some kind of outside event or getting into a car or something. I can't really say where it was because it was a strange place that I've never been before. But as we were getting into the car, these group of people, they were of a foreign descent, and it looks like maybe we were in Asia or China or somewhere. There's some kind of Asian descent that they were. And as I was getting into the car and my husband was getting into the car, they pulled me over. They pulled us over, and like they were like him and us against the car, and they were like they were asking for some information or details or something, and I'm like, we don't know what you're talking about. We don't understand what you're talking about. We don't have anything that you're needing. And like they took us hostage, and they were like, give us this and this and that, and if you don't, we're gonna kill you. And so they took us to all of a sudden we ended up in this apartment, and like they were holding myself and my husband and my daughter hostage, and they were giving us directions like, you have such amount of time to do this, or we had to set somebody up or whatever. But they were like, and if you don't do it, we're gonna kill you. And it was this woman, and it was the dude, it was the guy from he's a real life guy, and I think Donald Trump calls him the Rocket Man. I don't know his real name. He's a shorter guy, but I think he's like I don't know, I could be saying it wrong. I know nothing about this stuff, guys. Like the emperor or something in China or wherever it is. But he's a younger guy. He's kind of shorter. He has kind of like a buzz top cut. Like he had flashed in my dream as well, and he was sitting there. He was laughing on the bed, and then all of a sudden, they were like kind of being nice to us. And like one of the guys that was holding us hostage, he didn't want to be mean to us, but he had to because his leader was telling him he had to. And like he was kind of showing me mercy, and letting me hold my daughter and see my daughter. And then like they were like, yeah, you got such and such amount of time before we come and bring harm upon your family if you don't help us out. That's the part I didn't understand. So I don't know if someone has insight of governmental things. I don't know, something that God's been showing you in a dream. And then the second half of the dream, I was in this kind of building or home. It had like a two-layer house. The top, there was a boy upstairs. He was kind of sick in the bed. And in the bottom, it was kind of felt like a Bible study that was going on. And almost like judgment was happening down there. And we were like, they were telling us like, you need to ask for forgiveness. You need to make sure you're cleansed. You need to make sure, almost like as when God comes, you're going to be all right. You know, you're going to be all right to go up because you don't have hurt in your heart. You've forgiven everybody you need to forgive. And I remember it was this guy, he was like, he was bullying the kid that was upstairs that was sick. And I think my mom had told him, like, you need to go and tell him that you're sorry and that you're sorry for everything you've ever done to him, bullied him. And he was just like, I never knew that I was hurting him like that. And the guy started crying. He was like somebody probably like in high school, maybe early college. And so he started crying, and he ran up the stairs, and he was just like, he fell at his bedside, and then the boy looked like he was dying. And he was like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I never hurt you. I never meant to hurt you like that. And the boy was just like, he forgave him instantly. Like, it looks like the boy had been through so much hurt by this other kid. Like, I could just feel it in the room. Like, I didn't know their story or background, but it was like he was hurt by him so much. But the boy that was sick on the bed was just like, I forgive you. And he was just smiling and talking to him. And the other boy was just laying on the bed and just like, just kind of just like, please forgive me. And he was just so at awe because the boy had forgiven him so easily. You know, like I said, I didn't get time to interpret this dream, and I might not know until later, so maybe I'll come back on to make another video. But God had just kept putting this on my head. Like, this, I've been trying to work, and this is all that's just been coming through my head. Like, say the story, say the dream. And so, after that, like, I had came outside of my house. And when I came out of my house, I was in like this suburban area where it was like everything was so squeaky clean. It was like perfect. But I knew it was a lie in my head. I knew that it was a deception. And like, it almost had like this creepy kind of Purge feeling to it. The movie The Purge. And so, and I even heard like a speaker going on outside, like almost like shopping music, like in Protos, and like in Protos aisle, such and so. Like, you know how they make that noise in like the stores, like if you go to like Kroger's or Walmart. Like it had that sound like in speakers outside, and it was really weird. It was really sunny. And then all of a sudden, like, this announcement came on, and it was like an announcement that I could see. Like, it wasn't on a camera, it wasn't on a screen, but I could see it. And this guy came on the screen, and he had blonde hair, blue eyes, and he was just like, hi, I'm such and so, and like such and so, I couldn't really understand what he was saying, but I knew in the dream that everybody loved this man. Everybody like worshiped him, and he was a guy to love. He was a guy that everybody wanted to get to know. Now that part to me, I definitely knew, because in the dream, I heard the word Antichrist. It was said Antichrist. So he looked so trusting. He looked so friendly. He looked so warm and welcoming. And it seemed like he had the answer for everything, and everybody was just trusting this man. And his smile, just like, it was like you were drawn to his smile. You were drawn to him, like to trust him, to want to be with him, to just want to know this guy. But when I looked at him, his outer appearance looked so friendly and so happy. But I got to see deeper in him. And as I kept looking at him, his eyes flashed, and he had like these little snake eyes. You know how snake eyes have like the greenish, yellowish outer part where my white would be? He had a black strip down the retinas or whatever those are called. And so before I woke up, I heard Antichrist. And then I woke up. So I'm going to leave this all for you all to interpret. Talk to God, seek God. If God gives me more interpretation about the rest of the dream, the rest of the dream seemed kind of like it had purpose, but it was way beyond me, and I couldn't really get it yet. And I honestly, I hadn't asked God for an interpretation of the dream, because I was just like, it's random. Like, but in my spirit, I knew like, okay, that meant something spiritually as to what's to come with the Asian descent and being held hostage, and threatening if we didn't do such and so, they were going to do harm to us. And then where the boy went upstairs to ask for forgiveness, and how the boy gave forgiveness before God had came back. Like, it was a race. Like, he had to go do it now. Like, he was sprinting through this house, ran up the stairs, and just like laid at this dude's feet and was just like, please forgive me. And the guy was just like, I forgive you. You could tell the boy was sick. He was like grayed, and he looked like he'd been coughing all night, and he was in his bed. And the dude was like, I forgive you. And you could tell that the other dude who ran up the stairs had hurt him so much, so deep, almost like it was causing him to be sick. And so I know that has meaning, of forgiveness of some sort, because, if we don't forgive others, then God will not forgive us. God, we stop our prayers, we stop our blessings, we stop everything when it comes to not forgiving people. No matter what they've done to you, you've got to learn to let go and forgive. So this boy was seeking forgiveness. he was mostly seeking forgiveness because he knew God was about to return. And that's what I felt in my spirit, that God was about to return. And if he didn't do it at that moment, he was going to be left on this earth. And then after I got shot out of this house, I was in this like Pleasantville kind of suburban. Everything was bright and squeaky, and it was like almost as if it was rehearsed. It was like a rehearsed world. Very creepy and sinister, like the plague, or like the purge. And that dude popped up, and he was like, it was a screen, but it wasn't a screen. And I was in my car, and like he came on the radio, but I could see his face. He was this dude to love, this dude to worship, the dude who had the answer to everything. Like I felt in my spirit, like he knows everything. He has everything we need. He's gonna be the end all and be all. And he has such a loving, warm face. But God let me see. Right before I was about to wake up, I zoomed into his spirit, and I saw those snake eyes. And then I heard the word Antichrist. Maybe that means the Antichrist is about to rise up, or he's rising as we speak, or he's rising upon the day. But y'all, stay prayed up. Listen to God. One of y'all might have had a similar dream like this. And if you have, please comment below, because I'm always looking for confirmation. But if anything of anything, check it with God. Pray about this video, because I wasn't going to share this with y'all, because I was just like, well, maybe it's just for me, just some strange dream. But I was like, God was like, no. And I kept telling God in my head, like, God, if this is meant for me to share, just keep it on my heart, keep it on my mind. And literally, as I was trying to get through the day, do my work, the dream kept just flashing past my head. And I'm like, but God, I don't even know what to say, because I haven't got an interpretation of the dream, and I just don't want to come on here talking and rambling. But he was like, trust me, give out the dream. So maybe one of y'all know. Maybe I've had a dream. Maybe y'all the other puzzle piece that God has dropped this dream or vision into, and we all need to connect together. So stay prayed up, prayed about this video, and remember, keep looking up, because he's coming, y'all.